Hi guys, welcome back to Owl003, where I'm mapping the matrix one target at a time. Today, going to do a target reveal, and this is the tasking. The remote viewer, David Powell, will focus in on Source, the creator of all, then try to engage a one-on-one conversation with Source about humanity. Now, just so everyone's clear, I don't pick the fucking targets. Someone else does. I work the targets. So typically, somebody will come to me or come to my project manager with a little coin and have a curiosity about something. And if it falls under the parameters of of a target that I will accept, then I do it. But I'm blind to it. I have no idea what this is. Okay, and this was a really interesting target, at least until it's over, because this one, actually, there was some really bizarre. It seems like not just me, but the tasker and the client somehow got wrapped up into this target. But anyway, I'm going to go through it with you. And every target I do, guys, I invite everybody to, task it out to their remote viewing groups if they, if they're trained remote viewers. And the only sessions that I post on this channel, just so everybody knows, are targets that I think are interesting of ones that I've done. I'm not saying this is, and also what I think that people, other viewers, would maybe probably get. If you want to see a bunch of my verifiable stuff, I have it on Facebook. I've done a ton of them. So just take it with a grain of salt. It is what it is. I'm not trying to convert anybody's beliefs or anything. Sometimes this stuff is unsettling to people. So if you don't want to look at it or know about it or whatever, don't shoot the messenger. Just don't watch it. I don't care. So anyway, so I get this ideogram of a person, a structure. My stage 2 dimensionals. AI, a feeling of aspiration. AOL break, intrepid voyage. So right away, okay, so I'm getting these three males, which I think is me, the client, and the project manager, who's a good friend. Because we all kind of worked so closely, and I think, especially on this target, it's almost like we were all there, and both of them had after effects after I worked this target, so it was really interesting and strange. But anyway, so I get these orbs. That's what's first kind of coming out. These three people, you can see like three people in the distance, but then I'm getting these orbs, and then I see what I can only describe as Mary Magdalene. AOL break 3 Musketeers. AOL break karmic relationship. So again, going back this, again, guys, I've done so many sessions that just keep bringing me back to this holographic universe thing. No matter what angle I hit it at. So AOL break hollow sphere. Okay. AOL break microtubular insertion. AOL break designation frequency. So now I have this, looks like a crucifix or cross going into, it's like it's separating. Okay, so some of this is cut off. But again, I've got three people and what looks like three crosses, right? AOL break sacred something. But at the bottom one, is you can see it's partly cut off, but it's Christ consciousness energy. I don't know. Okay, AOL break post-apocalyptic. Okay, so now here's... Okay, these AOLs are interesting to me. Like a being in your mind. AOL break enchanted energy. So I have this guy, and it looks like there's like a cross like right in his face almost. It's almost like he's meditating or something. He's holding his mind, his head. So, AOL break mystic art of the mind. And I have these 3 orbs. They're like in front of him. AOL break, like 3 orbs having a conversation. So again, this tasking was pertaining to humanity, and the discussion got interesting. This again, I believe I'm bringing in the other people, which is this, I believe, is the project manager doing HemiSync, and this, I believe, might be me, or this might be me. These interesting little items. Pulpit, harmonic dissonance. Yeah, it's AOL, like a formula. Okay. AOL, like a wretched soul. Sense of security. This idea of risk. Okay, an induction ceremony. So, just remember that impression, because something happens down the line here. So I get this idea of spiritual growth and attainment. High frequency. Divided. AOL postulates. Intangibles. Cold storage. Sense of a dampening field. Stage 4.5. Sense of source code technology. Disruptive influence. Like a crime against nature. Then I have the signal artistry of man. Tangibles, I have a colloquial seed bank. I got a sense of a territorial dispute. AOL signal metamaterials. Okay, catastrophic minefield investigation. So it's a point in this session. Well, it's not here. Let me get there. Okay, so separated. So adherence. Like splitting the mind in 2. Half organic, brainwave activity, subtle changes, AOL nonlinear time. Signal like a separation. I feel intrigued by this. Okay. So there was a presence there I got a nervousness from, and I felt like this nervousness was from the discussion that we were having about humanity. Okay, I got a sense of hybrid technology, soul harbinger. Get the impression of something happening on a cellular level. Okay. Proprietary knowledge. So again, this is where it gets starts to get really weird. So I got these orbs flying around. I mean, it's like straight out of like something out of like Bob Monroe. Like these are orbs floating around, talking to each other, and then this device grabs this orb right before it goes into this space, which I think is like, well, at stage 4.5, I get the sense of a closed system, but it's almost like it grabbed me before I walked into a room or something. I don't know. Again, the weirder the tasking, the stranger the target, the information is going to be. Like being held in place. Okay. Tactical. I get a sense of a Again, and this is talking about humanity with source. Me, source. Okay. I get a sense of a hybridization program. Atmospheric conditioning. Like shortchanging this man. So I got a sense of a male, a mind apparatus. It's like I'm accessing this source through, this weird technology. Okay, so I keep sensing a mind or a mind field. So there's a point in the session where I'm like having this discussion with source, this being, whatever, and I put it in here. It was like it was reading my mind field, is how I described it. Like, AOL signal mind police. Okay, so disturbing, disruptive, seduction, infiltration, AOL God particle. Okay, I got a sense of mind source. AOL energy, distillation of the mind signal. And as you can see, it's like I've got this. I'm having this mind-to-mind communication. Like if you turn this upside down, this is like a face, and this is another face, and these like two minds are converging. Reactionary, causal, mind infiltration, insurgency, like divinity in its purest form. Ooh, it's a horrible page. Okay. This says is I get the sense of a covert operation of the mind, electrical impulses, frequent headaches, engaging. Keep getting a sense of a wretched or tortured soul attached to this target, which I could only assume is me. Okay. AOL, like a disturbance in the force. Signal, target acquired. Someone feels singled out here. A sense of acquiesce, stealth observation, open exchange, like a mandate. Eye of illusion. Okay, so karmic relationship. People, growth, attainment, spiritual growth, attainment, resolve, source rescue, slow release, treatment, and escape. Designation frequency. Conducive, coordinated, frequent disruption, attainment, elasticity, growth, attainment, changes. Disruptive, indulgence, corrupt, influential, designated. Stage 5.5. Okay, I get this idea of study, growth, and attainment. Subtle changes on the mind. I get a sense of a corrupt influence. I get a sense of designation by design. And a sense of a dampening field. Harmonic dissonance. People, feelings, spiritual growth, attainment, seclusion, protection. People, pleasure, happiness, trust, exclusivity, and worthiness. Oh, metamaterials. Holographic interface, storage, health, upkeep, corrosive, damping, stealthy, resentment, growth, exchange, detrimental. AOL break neural link. So again, whatever. But, creation, syntax region, regional subservience, plasmatic infusion. Okay. Actionable and indetermined. Sense of divided nation here. Neuroplasticity. Tangibles, Canaanites. I get a sense of a distillation process. AOL speaker for the dead. High treason, plasmatic. I get an impression of a male here who speaks for people that have died. corrupt influence, ghostly presence. And then I AOL'd Heimdall. This is interesting. So I'm supposed to have a conversation with Source, right? So I AOL Heimdall, which is a Greek god of like the Rainbow Bridge, and then me. Okay? So it's interesting, AOL. Here he is here. Sense of regional subservience. AOL signal, upholding cosmic law. Fidelity. Caretaker of man. Displacement. Soul evolution. Tangibles. Infirmary and a mind installation. Signal, where mind meets reality. Okay. Archons come in here. Okay, this has been talked on social media a little bit. It's the reason why I'm bringing this up now. So I get this idea of archonic intrigue. Actually, AOL that, but it should be in intangibles. I get a sense of distillation process or processing of the mind. What's most noteworthy about this discretionary action? Mind file distribution, psychotronic or psychotropic, total immersion therapy, a celestial state of mind, exclusive, mind file technology, AOL Scientology. Stage 4.5, I get the sense of this guy is fed up or he's had enough of some kind of preferential treatment. Now, what I believe here's what's strange to me. From my perspective, we're all in this system, okay? Somebody's messing around with us. And it's like, what's crazy to me is it's almost like Source doesn't know about it or didn't know about it until just now. That's the weird part, you know. But again, this is remote viewing. It's a very out there target, so take everything with a grain of salt. Okay, disturbing, exclusive. Like an envelope in time to make your mark. Yeah, it is. Free will. Reality immersion therapy. Hybridized infrastructure. Someone feels threatened here. I think these are the Archons because I think they might know I'm there or something. I don't know. But okay, so I get this idea of DNA sequencing, equilateral transitioning, design specs, spectrometer, marketability, decision-making, repeatability, reliable, instrumental, conversion therapy. And again, I think this, you know, I talk about these guys in these pods. This may very well be me in this frickin' pod. I've got conversion therapy, soul converter technology, like intensive, this feels intensive, like intensive mind therapy, an inducer, a catatonic state of being. I get a sense of a timetable associated with this. I get a sense of frequent mind disruption. This idea of patronage and an endowment. AOL, keeper of all keys. Get a sense of a male here that is here to shake up the system. That's me. Okay, now this is this is what I think. You know, from my perspective, is what it seems like a guy getting up to kick ass. It's like this guy is reading my mind. He's being aware of everything that's going on, and now he's like pissed off all this stuff's happening. So I'm getting a sense of gifted and divine. Now this is actually this guy, and this is how I described it to the project manager and to the client. Put his hand on my head and said something like a blessing. And I described it just like that. Like I knew before I even got my feedback. I'm like, whatever this is, it's interacting with me directly, and I told them that because I could literally feel like something on my head, you know, during the session. Now, in addition to that, the client had all this buzzing in his head and just weird stuff was associated with this, but it's all circumstantial. So, or speculative. So anyway, I just want to tell you about it because it's interesting. So again, gifted, divine, like the sterilization of mankind. Session end. Okay. So target consists of life and structures. First sketch, I felt the structure and 3 individuals. Bottom of page 3, I sense a female presence. That's the Mary Magdalene type character. I get a sense of the process of siphoning off some kind of energy. Again, I get 3 individuals with what feels like some kind of thought process associated with, Christian symbology. I get this image of a cross breaking up and going in different directions. Page 6, I get a male holding his head. This target feels like it has some association with the mind. Below this, I have 3 what feels to be living orbs having some kind of dialogue. Top sketch 7, I have a man sensing some kind of head pressure. Below that, I have a male, feels as if he is at a table. Some kind of mind action happening here. Small structures and a sense of formulaic. Kept getting a sense of a wretched or tortured soul. Security, induction ceremony, spiritual growth and attainment, as well as high frequency. A sense of division pertaining to this target. I get a sense of postulates, a dampening field, a disruptive influence, and source code technology. I get the impression of a colloquial seed bank and a territorial dispute. I sense a minefield investigation happening here. I sense organic intrigue and adherence. Something here feels half organic and half something else. I sense brainwave activity and subtle changes of the mind. I get a nervousness coming from a male, a sense of elasticity, hybrid technology, and a soul harbinger. I get the impression of something happening here on a cellular level. I am picking up on proprietary knowledge, a closed system, tactical and hybridization program. I get a sense of atmospheric conditioning. I get a sense of contusions in the mind apparatus. I get the impression of a tectonics display. I feel something's disturbing about this target. Disruptive, a sense of seduction, infiltration, and mind source technology. Or mind source energy, sorry. Something here feels reactionary and causal. Get a sense of mind infiltration, insurgency. A sense of covert operation of the mind. Electrical impulses. Frequent headaches. Electrified, destructive, and engaging. I sense there is a tortured soul attached to this target. I get the feeling of distrust in someone being singled out here. This feeling of acquiesce, stealth, observation, and open exchange, undermined and actionable, a divided nation, neuroplasticity, and a distillation process. Get a sense of high treason and a plasmatic energy. I feel there's a male here who speaks for the dead. I am picking up on a corrupt influence and a ghostly presence. Regional subservience, fidelity, displacement, soul evolution, and a mind installation all feel pertinent to this target. I get an idea of process or processing of the mind. Asking myself, what is most noteworthy here? I get the impression of discretionary action, mind file distribution, psychotronic or tropic, a feeling of total immersion, a sense of exclusive mind file technology. I get a sense there's a male here that is pissed off and fed up, a sense of tired of preferential treatment. Free will and reality immersion therapy, a sense of a hybridized infrastructure. I get the sense someone feels threatened here. I get a sense of DNA sequencing, equilateral transitioning, and design specs. I get the sense of a spectrometer, marketability, repeatability, and a decisive nature, a sense of distrust. Sense of reliable and instrumental in something happening here. This idea of conversion therapy, an inducer, and a sense of a catatonic state of being. I feel there is a timetable associated with this, a sense of patronage and an endowment. I sense there is a male here insistent upon shaking up the system. I get a sense of gifted and divine. Session end. So there it is, guys. Source target. That's what I got. Kiss my grits if you don't like it. And we'll catch you next time.